Hey, this is Derek D-Train He2. Tonight's episode is brought to you by...
It's one all, one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
Hey, welcome back to the Blue Line Hockey Club, folks. We got another exciting episode of the Blue Line Hockey Club 108 tonight, fellas. We have some of the usual suspects sitting in the house with us tonight. We have our producer, Patrick Uncle Lardy Sullivan. What's up, Patrick?
Aloha.
And our local nerd on staff, our IT guy, Robbie P. Peters. What's up, Pete?
Hey, how you mama now?
And your host of the Blue Line Hockey Club tonight, Mark the Dr. Morley.
Oh, doctor.
And we have the privilege of having a friend and a guest of the show on tonight. We have JD Greenway of the UMaine Blackbears, correct? And he's also a prospect for the Toronto Maple Leafs. What's up, man?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, man, I almost fucked up the Blackbears there. Got confused there for a second.
Yeah, disrespect. That's Pat's favorite school. He gets jealous of that stuff.
Yeah, do you guys remember, Rob, Mark, when I was a young lad back in the Pee Wee Association? I had all Maine gear. You guys remember any of
What the
that?
fuck? Where'd you get all that?
I just was obsessed with the UMaine Blackbears. You know, they used to come down and play St. Lawrence a lot. So I just loved their uniform, that blue and white, and the blue gloves and the socks. And right away, I just was infatuated with it. That was weird. I don't know. Now JD's playing up there. So
Yeah, and they used to play them like they'd come down and play St. Lawrence. So it would be like usually like what the first two games of the season, wasn't it? And I think Jimmy Howard was playing. Well, that was actually way before Jimmy Howard, but it was like the two games at the beginning of the season. They'd come down and play St. Lawrence, and they usually fucking whoop them.
yeah, Paul Correa used to play. I think that was the year Maine won the title with Paul Correa. But yeah, that was. I think that's another reason why I was a big fan of Maine is because they won that year. That really I jumped on the bandwagon. But you're in Maine, right, JD?
Yeah, I am in Maine. It's
Snowing?
it's not snowing. It is cold though. I came from Minnesota, which is normally cold, but I came here and it hasn't been above 70. It actually sucks. It's windy.
I love that. I think all three of us on the podcast are like a couple of days in the 70s.
It felt like 108 today, so
Really?
step outside, can't breathe.
Yeah, I got my buddy here from North Carolina. I think like Charlotte, or I don't know where he's from actually in North Carolina, but he's like freezing. His kid's wearing like socks, fucking shoes, sweatpants. It's insane.
So you know, Mark's down in Florida, and me and Rob are in North Carolina. So
It's fucking hot down here, boys. Whew.
fucking hot.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. I've been working outside, so it's like you need to bring like 3-4 shirts like first hour. It's like wet.
Yeah.
Wet
Bring
fucking
replacements.
clothes. It's nuts. The humidity is through the roof. I mean, it's like 93, 94, but the feels like temperatures over 100 every day. So it's kind of like the North Country in the summer. Or, down here, you don't check the weather because you know it's going to be mid 90s every day and humid as fuck. It's going to rain in there somewhere. So there's no need to check the weather. Just like in the North Country, it's going to be cold as fuck in the winter. It's going to suck every day for about 6 months. Why check it?
12 months.
It's the same shit. You just same for about 4 or 5 months straight.
Exactly.
You got ice up there, JD?
We just got today. We got the notice that we're gonna get ice today. They're gonna be putting it in today. They're gonna be putting it in this week, and then we should be able to skate by the 7th, 8ish, so right around there. But we still don't know. Like it's kind of a mess here. It's not a mess actually. They're doing a great job, but it's just like it's new to everyone. All the students, it's new to. All the professors, it's new to. So there's obviously complications.
New to everyone, yeah, for sure.
Some of it's a bunch of bullshit, but listen to this one. My daughter goes to the nurse yesterday with a headache because she lost a tooth. She's 9. She goes to the nurse. The nurse sends her home. for a fucking headache. The best part is she can't go back today. I'm like, you kidding me?
Because of COVID, that's what they say. That's what they expect.
Well, she had the headache. She's got to go home immediately. So my wife had to leave work, pick her up. She couldn't go back today, so my wife had to stay home from work today. I told her, you have a headache, don't go to the nurse.
I mean, it couldn't.
Just suck it up.
Jammed us up big time for a headache.
So everyone's
When's
gonna be
the last
saying
time
that.
you've been on the ice, JD? Sorry.
Penalty. This summer, actually. Fuck, dude. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've been on the ice. I mean, we had 5 months off, right? We ended in March. Took 3 months off, started skating and working out. And now I'm not doing anything, and we don't have the ice. We can't get into the facilities. But now, once the ice gets in and we can get in the facilities, then, I mean, we're training for at least 3 months straight, just getting better. So I feel like that's enough time.
It's plenty of time, JD.
You know, 3 months, that's like a normal summer.
Yeah.
But it's
Any
good.
big transfers coming in?
Southers. We got Keenan Southers from SLU, the North Country. He came up. He's actually living with me too. He's a good kid. He's just tall. He's fucking so tall.
I think I remember that kid a little bit.
I played with him at USA.
Oh, okay.
So at least I knew him. I knew him well. He's a good kid.
I see a kid from St. Lawrence also left and went to UMass with Carla.
Really?
Sure. Yeah, I did see that. Super senior, right? What do they call
Fifth years?
Grad
him?
system, grad student,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on in St. Lawrence, but I mean, they've been brutal. So I guess if you have one season left, jump ship and try to win some games.
Right, and he has to sit out. He has to sit out a year too. So this is like honestly, selfishly, like the best year to sit out. But I mean, fuck yeah, it is. Not selfishly. Like, of course, you want to sit out this year, but
Yeah.
Makes sense.
you know.
Pete, what are you doing up there?
He looks like he's got his Christmas closet open. There's Christmas presents and
Yeah. Still reorganizing shit.
Playboys. So what's going on in hockey, you boys? You've been watching. Bruins are out. Charlie McAvoy, I was hoping he could win a cup. I hope Big Z would get a cup. You think you'll see Big Z on the ice again?
Yeah, I think so. Probably one more year. I mean, he still looked pretty good, man. I was watching him the other night. Charlie McAvoy got blasted into the boards. He left the game briefly. Ended up coming back it was in the third period, crucial time of the series. So he came back on the ice. I'm not sure what happened.
It was
I didn't think
tough.
it looked that bad, to be honest.
He
It was
turned.
a tough situation. Like Mac turns on a dime. That player, it's hard to do, but at the same time, there's a tear. Like, it looks
It's
so
always
bad.
He turned and his head went head first, so
Yeah.
it made it look pretty bad.
there's always going to be the question of, Tuukka Rask and him leaving. I don't think that ever leaves this season for them. Whenever the Bruins are brought up, I think it'll always be brought up in the conversation about Tuukka
Immediately
Rask
the
leaving.
Tuukka Rask. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tend to agree with that assessment. Look, they're a lot better with him than without him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's a tough draw picking up the Lightning. Obviously, the Lightning, one of the best teams in the league.
Yep.
For the Bruins, if they were up against
Playing
the Flyers
well
or somebody else
right
that
now.
maybe a little less caliber, I think that they'd be in a different situation. The perfection line played well in that series. I think they were on point. Pasta was hurt at the beginning of the series, but he came back right away, contributed, popped a goal. Marchand was on fire for that series. Bergeron.
You guys see a couple of his goals where he stands on the side of the crease and just kind of angles his skates. It's almost like a play for them. They shoot at his skates, and his skates just kind of ricochet and angle the puck into the net. You see a couple of his goals
Yeah.
were like that?
It's almost like
Anybody see that?
it's almost like the receivers tiptoeing on a pass in the NFL, where he's like tiptoeing on the crease, man, and he just sits on that back corner and he stuffed a couple back there. in the last couple of
You
games.
turn your skates like that, and you have, maybe a 2-foot angle to, redirect off of their blades into the net. It's a pretty smart play. They're effective. They've got it down.
And that last game could have went either way.
I think you got to look at too, like different way of thinking. But like last year, I mean, they had St. Louis in the Stanley Cup Finals, and they took their game to them. Boston's supposed to be the bruisers in the league, the tough team to play, and St. Louis brought it to them. And then you look at this year when McAvoy got hit, what we were just talking about, like no one did anything. Like in game. I saw that. I was like, they lost. No one stood up for him. No one stood up for him, but like that's
he laid
just
there for a while.
Yeah. So it's just like kind of tough. And he fought after.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He got in a fight. Who did he fight?
No, the guy I forget who number 13 on Tampa when he hit McAvoy. Yeah, then he like punched. He punched someone in the face afterwards. Yeah, and. It's just no one, it's just, I don't know. I would expect something from the Bruins, especially to answer to that. And then.
Yeah, I mean, that's, we talk about that all the time, JD. The NHL is changing, and years ago that would have been met with, somebody on the team taking exception, a hit to the best player or, some sort of cheap shot. And, to me, I thought when I was watching the Toronto Maple Leafs, they did not have that kind of answer, right? They have nobody tough on the blue line to stand up for the Matthews. Austin Matthews isn't picking a fight with anybody. Mitch Marner is not going to, pick a fight with somebody.
Yeah.
So who is, right? Who is the guy that's going to pick a fight? I don't think Cody Cece's a big fighter. I mean, they have...
Well, Jason Spezza, oddly enough, as the oldest guy in the room, was effective on the third line. I don't, if you guys caught any of that series.
Yeah.
Everybody, mocked Spezza for going to Toronto, and they strung him along, and it turns out in the end of the Toronto run, that old veteran was pulling those kids along, fighting, just working hard, winning battles. I think they had some, I don't know the exact points off the top of my head, but they started to put points on the board. I mean, what more can you ask from your third line, your veteran? Spezza's been in the league for a long time, right? And there was questions of whether he was on his way out or, whether Toronto should have even picked him up. And, right there, that's the only money that actually came through when you needed it. So,
yeah. Speaking of Toronto, I saw something that Anderson might be possibly getting dealt to Carolina. I think it's preliminary, but there's talks about that.
There's talk.
Canes, baby.
I knew you'd like that. That's a big thing with the Canes too. I mean, they have some good goalies, but Peter Mrazek, I've talked about it before. Just he's not the number one guy that they need. He's been a backup for most of his career, and they're right there every year in the playoffs. They need that goalie that's going to propel them into the finals. So I think a goalie pickup for them is huge. Obviously, the goalie situation in the playoffs is big right now. The Halak thing with the Bruins was tough for him coming in to have to be the number one for the whole series. It's tough. That's a tough situation for him, especially against a team like the Lightning. And now you have goalies that just had a goalie play his first fucking playoff game ever the other night because there was no, not goalies, not Halak. I think it was a goalie for was it Vancouver?
Halak?
No, there was a goalie.
Markstrom.
Markstrom was out, and I think the guy that replaced him was his first playoff game ever.
Thatcher Demko?
Oh, Demko, Thatcher Demko, yeah. 40,
BC get
43 saves or something.
Yeah, Thatcher Demko played at BC, went to the U.S. program. Was you, JD, or was you with someone else?
It was not with me. Is this fan too loud? Does this mess up the mic?
You're good, man.
No.
No, he was not there with me, Demko. I think he was in 96.
Was he? Yeah, I think you're right. 96. 95, 96. Yeah. But just going back to the Tampa and Bruins series, I've always been a diehard Bruins fan, but I was actually happy to see Tampa win just because, we got Zach Bogosian, hometown boy, playing for Tampa. We got 3 guys actually from our little county where we're from, St. Lawrence County, upstate New York, actually on the Tampa Bay. 1 player and 2.
315.
Assistant coach Derek Lalone is from of the Tampa Bay, is from Brazier Falls, and then they got Brian Putman, head scout, who's from Potsdam. So 3 people from upstate New York, St. Lawrence County, where we're from, is on the Tampa Bay Lightning. So I'm kind of rooting for them to win the cup. I thought, this is the Tampa team that we were all anticipated last year, and they're finally here. And they brought Bogosian up. A lot of people think he's not doing well. I mean, I'm a little biased. I think he's a good, tough, reliable.
He's proved them wrong.
Yeah, defenseman that I could throw out on most. If I was a coach, I could throw out there most power plays, penalty kills, and rely on him. So, I'm really excited. I'm hoping Tampa brings the cup home. That thing's got to come to St. Lawrence County. There's 3 people, right? One of them, got to bring that to Duffers.
Yeah, Bogosian's playing well. He had the goal the other night, and then last night, or the last game of the series, they had a little highlight reel between periods how he blocked a couple of shots and stopped a couple pretty good chances late in the game. So he's been on fire as far as his defensive play, but he's also contributed with some offense as well. And he's a big guy. He's a presence on the blue line and in front of the net, and nobody's going to fuck with him. If somebody fucks with one of the forwards, they do have a guy like Bogosian that'll throw.
Bogosian will step up.
I think that's a good thing for them.
Hedman's 6'6", right?
Mm-hmm.
Not sure. He's big boy.
He doesn't want to get hurt, though. He's too good to bust his hand, break his fucking knuckles.
Well, that's why Zach Bogosian's there to do it for him.
He's sick, man. I love watching Hedman. He's just so good and just such like a presence on the ice, Like if I'm going up against him, like fuck, and I don't obviously line up next to him, but if he's out there when I'm out there, it's just I don't like to see that. I wouldn't like to see that,
Did he have the game winner, or did he just have a goal?
Game winner was.
He had the game winner.
Yeah, I think he did.
He had the game winner.
Yeah.
He had the game winner. No, did it get? It was the Philly defenseman got tipped.
I thought Hedman had a goal in that last game.
Hedman had the game winner, yeah. Are those all empty water bottles, JD? Or
are they spitters, or are they?
No, soon to be. Soon to be. Yeah. Well, I got a bunch of this. I kind of raided Hannaford's snack section, and then I got a bunch of drinks too. So.
There you go.
Somewhere, yeah.
Hannaford. It's New England.
Show all the girls of UMaine that are watching what your crib looks like.
I lied to. You want me to get up?
No, you don't have to.
That's it right there.
It's all right. Yeah. It's a secret. Not too many get the pleasure to come up here, so they're kind of lucky if they do.
It's cozy. I mean, you got a pretty big season coming up, right? I mean, hopefully we can win Big East and go to the Final Four, or at least to the tournament, right?
Hell yeah. I mean, personally, I have a big season, yeah. This is a big development season for me personally. Our season's obviously, it's up in the air right now. There's a lot of protocols and restrictions that are placed on us in order for us to play. So we're just kind of all doing that. It's boring as hell. I mean, they just scored. It's boring as hell. Avalanche 1-1.
I got a delay.
My bad. But no, we hope to have our season here starting in the next 3 months, and then if we do, I mean, that's full throttle. I think our team is going to be good, and I'm going to be good. So
there you go.
Right.
Who's the goalie?
Show, baby.
Matthew. So Swayman signed last year. He was our last year goalie. He signed with Boston. Yeah, he was sick. But then, now we have Matthew Thiessen, who is I believe is going to be our starting goalie. He should be. He's next in line. He's a good player too. I played with him in Dubuque for a year. So, but we also got 2 freshman goalies as well. So it'll be interesting. I mean, it's going to be a fight for sure. But I hear good things about them all.
A lot of the players this year, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 2 new guys, right? For guy from Dubuque and then dude from St. Lawrence. I mean, that's huge. Looks like they're almost trying to put around you, Candy.
All right. No, yeah. There's actually 3 guys on the team that I played with before coming here. It's cool. It's nice to be here and have guys that you know. So it's good.
So what's up? What else is going on in the NHL, Marcus?
Well, we got the obviously the Flyers and the Islanders series has been crazy because obviously the Islanders are up 3-1, and going into that game, the Islanders battled back in this last game. They were down, I think, 3-0 and came back and tied it up with 2 minutes left to bring it into overtime. So that game could have went either way. The Hart's playing pretty good in net. The Flyers are trying to make a series of this and get it to a 7-game series. The Islanders, when I watch the Islanders, I think they have a little bit of everything. They have good goaltending. Their forwards are on point. They seem to be able to come back and score when they need to. Even in games when they've been down, they've always come back. They've battled back. There's no quit there. Good team. And the Flyers are just fighting, just trying to stay in it, and they need to figure out how, when they get up a couple goals, to fend off the Islanders, because they aren't quitting, and then they're getting into these overtime games. And that overtime game, just like Tampa Bay Bruins, it's when it gets to that situation, it's just a bounce of the puck, and it can go either way to get that win. So I've been watching it pretty close. He had Claude Giroux get his first goal of the playoffs, which was huge. Van Riesdijk had a goal the other night. I don't know if that was his first, but he hasn't been contributing as much as late. So those 2 guys getting them into the mix is huge for the Flyers coming into this next game. Hopefully get a little more production out of these big guys, because they've been lacking that in this whole series.
One person who I enjoy watching that series is Hayes. I think that guy, what did he sign? He signed a $7 million contract for 7 years, or 6 for 6 maybe.
Kevin Hayes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what he signed, but.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, this guy, I think he's definitely exceeded my expectations. This series, I don't really care who wins. I enjoy watching it. I want the Islanders to go as far as they can, because you never really see them in the playoffs. But the Flyers, I like watching Hayes a lot. He's a good guy, and I skated with him a little bit last year, and he's just a good guy. He's all about all about the boys. I don't really know how to explain it. Funny, he just brings a positive energy.
A genuine guy,
yeah. He's a cool kid. I like him.
And both of those teams. Go ahead, Rob.
I was just going to say I like the Islanders. They look good. Coming in, we thought both the Islanders and the Flyers were going to both be competitive. And, so far, the Flyers just haven't had an answer to the Islanders. So I do think the Islanders will take that series. And then, Vegas and Canucks. Vegas is close to closing out Vancouver. We'll see.
Yeah, Vancouver's holding them off. 3-2 now.
I think the whole, what Barry Trotz has instilled into you go down the roster of the Islanders, we can name Barzal, a couple other players on the team, not right offhand. If you don't follow hockey, these names are going to jump out at you.
Pajot, and Beauvillier.
Pajot and all those guys. We know that because we're hockey players and we follow it a little bit, right? But what what he's been able to do to his players and to gel them and to have them adapt to his system, his play, like he did in Washington, I give it props to the head coach, because obviously Washington dropped the ball on getting rid of him and not paying him. And
of course, and now they're complaining. They're looking for somebody that can have a structure that the team, that the team buys into.
How can you take them serious when you had Barry Trotz? Yeah, it's so. I don't know how they work or how they think, and they're definitely kicking themselves in the ass. I can tell you that. I would be if I was a general manager.
I mean, how many teams win a Stanley Cup and then don't keep their coach? I just don't get it. In any sport, like if it's NFL, NBA, whatever the fuck it is, they're like, we just won the national championship for that league, whatever it might be. And let's send the coach back and fuck it.
That's like the Chiefs letting go of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, what the fuck?
It just doesn't happen.
I can see it somehow a Belichick wanted to go to a different city to help, bring them stardom or to bring them, a structure. I could see a scenario, but that's not what this is.
I mean, I can't even remember a situation like that. Like, I don't even know if Phil Knight left after he won with the Lakers or something. I'm trying to think of something that's similar to that situation.
Somebody won and then they left, yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, it seems like and to have Trotz beat them in the playoffs this year is just awesome.
No, I mean Trotz is the man, and because of that, I've been following the Islanders, and I wish them success. They're beating to shut down a Flyers team like Claude Giroux just getting on the board. There are some guys with 6, 7, 8 points, and Claude just got his first fucking goal. So, what I mean? It's just the Stars in Philadelphia weren't firing.
I have them both as sleeper teams. Both of these teams kind of sleepers coming into the playoffs. One of those teams maybe making a break for it, but definitely not teams that we're thinking that are going to go deep into the playoffs. So. Just like St. Louis last year, coming on hot in the playoffs and end up winning. So
speaking of St. Louis, Jake Allen got traded to Montreal. He'll be backing up Carey Price. Big news. I'm surprised, to be honest with you, just because St. Louis losing this year in playoffs and neither goalie looking good.
Yeah, Bennington got benched a couple times.
I know, and a lot of people were talking after he won the Cup and Vezina. He was overrated. He got lucky. It's that whole luck in the hockey world. He was playing for the Providence Bruins 2 years ago in the AHL team, and they didn't even really want him. And now he got lucky and wins the Stanley Cup. And good shit. But anyways, I think that's a bad move on St. Louis. They should have kept him. I don't know if it's financial reasons or what, but we've always talked about it on this podcast. You need 2 pretty good goaltenders to go deep.
Yeah, it's a good tandem.
Playoffs. Yeah, it's a good tandem. What else would you want for a tandem? I mean, it would have to be for the management to let him go. He had to ask to leave. I mean, Jake's been with St. Louis his whole life. 2008, I think St. Louis drafted him. So 10 years, 12 years, and now
Montreal. Hopefully, Montreal paid him because he probably doesn't know what he's going to.
Club Super Sex is where he's going. That's where we.
But I gotta go handle something with the freshman. They just got the cops called on them.
Awesome. All right,
I gotta go talk. I just gotta go talk to people though.
All right, my man.
All right, thanks for having me. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, JD. See you, buddy.
Good luck, man.
So I don't know. It was a good tandem. I thought it was a good tandem, and they broke it up. So whatever. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, just to touch base a little bit on that Dallas Avalanche series. Dallas being up on the Avalanche, and then the Avalanche came in the last game, scored 5 goals in the first period. I mean, that's the shit that they can do. Just like in the last series where they were pounding the last couple games, 7 7-2, whatever the fuck it was in the last 2 games of that series. We'll see what happens tonight. But I mean, they came out and somebody lit a fire under their ass. They do have superstars, Kadri, McKinnon, Rantanen, and all these guys. McCarr's getting involved. A lot of things can happen in that series. And it's do or die tonight after the first 1-1. But I'm interested to see what happens in that series because of that last dominance and out of Colorado.
Yeah, I heard
I think
that.
if anybody can do it. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I got to get a beer so you can talk, Rob. But just if the way you're talking, you've watched more of this series than me. Dallas has just been getting a lot of penalties that I noticed, and Radulov hasn't played much. I think he averaged 9 minutes the last game because he's not on any special teams, and he's one of their top, if not their top, firepower. So for him not to be on the ice.
Definitely the goofiest looking motherfucker out there, that's for sure. But I don't really like that guy. I mean, he's a decent player, but he's just so fucking ugly. He drives me nuts. I don't know, man. I don't know what's about him. He's got that fucking Eastern European look to him. But I like the Avalanche. We all like the Avalanche. It's nice to see them come out and pound the Dallas team last game. The other thing was that same night was the Hockeyville USA came out and they awarded El Paso, Texas with the award for the Hockeyville. So they'll get a $150,000 upgrade to their rink in El Paso, Texas. I think that was a huge surprise for a lot of people that don't know Texas has hockey. So good for the sport. Definitely really good for the sport.
Yeah. 150,000 helps.
Yeah, and just to get a town in Texas to be obviously they're trying to say like one of the best hockey towns in the United States. That's how they judge it. They get their fans and everybody involved to see who's going to get that money. They've had a lot of teams from New York and the Northeast, but to have a team or have a town, El Paso, to contribute and to be able to get that top honor for Hockeyville USA, pretty cool to see, especially at the same time as Dallas Stars are kicking ass.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely out of left field for sure, but great, like you said, Mark, for the sport. I know that the Southwest is kind of grooming hockey players. Dallas is a really big, popular NHL franchise down there. And then you got Austin Matthews, who was born and raised in Phoenix, and one of the top 3 stars in the NHL. And he's been out to say, if it wasn't for that one birthday party that I went to where it was at a public skating rink, I would have never, ever played hockey. He said, the day I put on skates and got on the ice, he said, I fell in love with skating and eventually playing hockey. His mom got him into hockey. So that's good for the sport. I mean, maybe the NHL and Hockeyville USA is looking to, thought about that. Maybe that's been put into the equation about how big the franchise in Dallas, Phoenix, all these teams.
Seattle. I mean, there's an NHL team in Seattle next year, boys.
Yep. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. So.
Yeah, when is that starting? Not this season coming up, but the following?
21-22.
21-22?
Mm-hmm.
The Krakens, baby. The Krakens.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are buying that stuff. I got a buddy that just bought a couple shirts. He's a hockey fan. He bought some. So
I got a slogan for you one. It's called Let's Get Kraken.
There you go.
Sell it.
Nice. So, yeah, not too much. Let me just check here, see anything else. I see Jacques Martin. We all know him a little bit. He's got ties from where we're from. Another reason we're hoping to try to get him on. He's was announced as the assistant coach of the New York Rangers. Big news. Jacques Martin. and Quinter looking to do big things in New York. So that was big news. I know Panthers just hired a new general manager. That's down in Mark's vicinity down there in Florida. Bill Zito was hired as the Florida Panthers on Wednesday. He's been the senior vice president of hockey operations down there and associate GM and alternate governor for the – oh, yeah, that's right. Bill Zito worked for the Columbus Blue Jackets. And again, he was the senior vice president of hockey operations, associate GM, and alternate governor for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So he's moving south. He can wear some flip-flops and get out of Columbus. I don't even know what's in Columbus. Gets to hang down in Florida. That's some more news.
Yeah, I mean that team down there in Florida, they have a decent team. They obviously didn't have what it takes to get into the playoffs this year, but they were having some success. They weren't a bottom of the barrel team. I enjoy go down to the games. I mean, they don't have when they show it on TV where the TV camera focuses on behind the bench is the Lexus suites, so it's obviously the most expensive seats in the arena. So the sections that aren't on camera are the ones that have all the fans. So it's kind of deceiving when you watch the games on TV. Everybody says, "Oh, they don't get any fans," but when you go to the games, you can actually see there's a lot more fans than what you see on TV because they kind of fucked up by putting these super expensive suite seats on the camera side. So I do see some success down here. There's a lot of fans. I think I talked to you about it.
That's some insider info there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fans at the game. When I'm sitting there, I think I told you, like these fucking Goombas behind me trying to figure out what's going on in the game. But they're excited. They're wearing a Panthers jersey. Me listening to them try to figure out, them yelling at the players. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? But, it's just good that they're at the game supporting, buying tickets. There's a lot of people that don't even know what hockey is, but they're going to the games.
Yeah, that's good for them. And I mean, they need something down there, right? They got those Bobrovsky from Columbus. And then they did a couple other trades. You probably know more than me, Mark. But we actually, at the beginning of the season, thought they were going to do good.
We got Quenneville as coach. That was another big pickup. They got rid of Trocheck was a little bit of a loss for them. But
he left. He's here in Carolina now. Where'd he go? Where'd Trocheck go? Yeah, Carolina. Yeah. So and then Crosby had surgery on his wrist on Monday, so he's expected to cover in 3 to 4 weeks. So I don't know what he had done. It's just arthroscopic surgery on his wrist. So that's big news in the NHL world. That's about it. We're getting down here to the Stanley Cup Playoffs.
Yeah, conference finals are creeping up on us here.
Finals, yeah.
You got the Avalanche and Stars tonight, and then you got to finish up the 2 other series with the Islanders, Flyers, and the Vancouver game. So I think the Vancouver play tonight or tomorrow. I think tomorrow. I like that Vancouver team. I've been watching a little bit of that series with the Knights. Obviously, they have Stone. They didn't have the Flower in net last night. I don't know why they don't. I mean, maybe they're not thinking he's playing very well. They had Leonard in there. Leonard from the Blackhawks played. The Flower was on the bench, so we'll see who they put in for this next game. But, I think that I'm putting Fleury in there. For sure. In the series, that's 3-2. And they can win this series. And Vancouver, they have some young bucks on that team, and it just some pretty boys. I think they're a bunch of fucking queers, but Pedersen, and some pretty boys out there. I'd like to see them get fucking whacked a little bit by Reeves. Mark Stone, obviously,
out there, and Gaddad, and they're just young boys, right? Peterson. You got freaking Tanev, who drives me insane. Myers, I'd like to take a 2x4 to the back of his neck. And
Quinn Hughes.
Got guys on Quinn Hughes, he's a young buck. Looks like he's 12. So Jeff Beagle, Bailey. They got all these young bucks. But, yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm a big.
Vegas has some good players, man. I mean, I think I've kind of faded from Vegas. We haven't really talked about them, but Carlson has always been a good forward for them. They've been able to develop like the big pickup from Mark Stone from the Sens.
Max
Pacioretty came over. They've been able to cherry pick. Like you got Mark Stone, a captain from the Sens. You got the captain from the Habs.
Theodore, he's been scoring left and right.
They've just been able to. They had that one team that they got in the entry level, but then they've been cherry picking some of these higher profile guys that teams don't want to add leadership to that team. So, I like it. Good goaltending too. They just picked up Lanner from Blackhawks.
Yeah, and Shea Theodore. He's not in the spotlight, and he's got 8 points, 7 assists. So Martinez. So a lot of good players out there. Alec Martinez.
Wow. Yeah, so we're gonna get down to it next week. Yeah, Tuck from Syracuse, New York.
Minnesota Wild Boy.
We'll see. Next week when we get into the podcast next week, we'll be into conference finals, fellas. So, 2 more series, and then we're into the big dance.
Yes, sir.
Getting closer. Time marches on.
All right. No guests. We had JD Greenway tonight, the Blackbears from Maine. Obviously, he just came on to chat a little bit with us, friend of the program here at the Blue Line Hockey Club. Wishing him the best of luck up there in Maine. His last season, he's property of the Toronto Maple Leafs and has been up to their camp 3 years, I think now, Pat, right?
4. Yeah,
4 years he's been to their camp. So hoping that he has a great season.
Yeah, we'll see him in a Marlies jersey next year. So it'll be fun. We'll be watching a little AHL. Robbie and I will be making trips to Charlotte for sure to watch, the Charlotte here, and they're in the same conference as the Toronto Marlies. So it'll be fun. I think the whole family will be going down to those games. But Uncle Telfer better move over and be a good time. Yeah, it was good for JD to come on. He's just back in Maine and bored and wanted to talk a little bit, so it's good to have him on. We're hoping to line some guests up. I'm hoping to get Jacques Martin, like I said earlier. Maybe a couple Kings players. Matt Dumbus, I talked to him. He said he's interested coming on. Hoping to get Clayton Keller on. So we got some guests lined up here. Now that Boston lost, we'll get McAvoy on and have him talk about the bubble and what went on. Maybe Charlie Coyle, one of the two. So we'll get some guests on.
Sounds good, boy.
Who's that?
Coilsy?
Coilsy, yeah.
Charlie Coilsy.
All right, boys. Another great podcast. Let's give a shout out to our sponsors quick, Robbie.
Yeah, Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com. Use the code BLH20 for 20% off plus free shipping. That's BLH20 for free shipping and 20% off. Your balls will thank you.
All right. Okay, boys, another great podcast from the Blue Liners, and we can't wait to see you next week on our YouTube channel. Check out our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and also look at BlueLineHockeyClub.com for all of our fucking podcasts, baby.
Yeah. All right. On the website.
Okay, fellas, until next time, keep your stick on the ice.
Hey.
Oh, doctor.
Keep your head up.
There you go.